Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Corey. We out here with Animated J for our first ever featured dancer for Corduroy Designs. So the goal today is to give back to the culture um, because the culture has given me so much. So I want to make sure we can give back to share to the world, amazing dancers that are part of our community and hopefully we all can kind of learn together from this experience. So we have here Animated J. Um, so my first question to you, sir, is what's your story? How did you start? What's kind of like your history?
Oh man, okay. So it all started actually with my younger brother. I have a younger brother. His name's Tommy. Um, Man, this was like back when I was like 17, I think. And I have a younger brother, and he used to take dance classes. I had no interest in dance. I didn't even like dance. Like I would drop him off. He would take hip hop classes, and I would just be in the corner listening to like heavy metal music. And eventually he started getting good. And I'm a little competitive, especially with like my sibling. So I was like, huh, like he's getting it. Like I want to try some stuff too. Like I want to learn some stuff too. So at the time, that's when like America's Best Dance Crew came out. And like as a family, we would watch like me, my mother, my brother. We would watch America's Best Dance Crew, and I was like, wow, look how people move and all this stuff. And I was like, I wonder what else is out there, like what else is out there in the world. So I went on YouTube and I typed in like Jabberwockies, right? And I saw their videos, and then I would see the related links. So then I found the first crew that I saw outside of Jabberwockies was this crew called Prepix, and I think they're from Korea
I've
or
heard. I
something.
used to look them up. Prefix, yeah, they
Yeah,
would do that like crazy
they,
echo.
you saw the one with the mask where they
Yeah,
that. And I was like, what is that? That's bugged out. And then I kept on going to related, and then I found like Human, the Kote Senin, the guy with the chest pops with the hat and the glasses that he. I found him, and then from him I found Hamlet Sun Serve, the two guys in the red that were like doing this thing called Japan Dance Delight. So I found that, and then I kept on related. I came across like Salah from France. I started coming back to America, and I found like Robert Moraine, Pac-Man. Um, Trying to think, I just started finding these stuff, but it was I was like I didn't know what it was called. I was like, what is this style called that people are doing, and it just looks so bugged out and it was popping. That's what it was. It was popping, and people were animating and waving and telling all these stories. So basically, what I did is I would download like 2 hours worth of YouTube videos, and I would put it on a DVD, and then I would put like a title, I'll put like credits and everything. I was having fun with it, and I would just be in my room and I would just watch it over and over and over again, like watching it, and I would practice the same thing, copying, imitating. And then eventually, me and my brother, we were like, hey, let's enter a contest. And we entered this like small contest in Allentown Fair. That's where I started dancing. It's in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And then we won the contest. And then like I started connecting with the dancers in that area. There was a studio called Born into the Arts at the time, and I met them. I started sessioning with them and everything. And ever since then, it kind of just like I got hooked, and I just kept going more and more and more, and looking and watching and watching. And then like slowly, I started like doing some battles. Then I started putting some videos, and then it just people started connecting. And then over the years, I ended up in California. So that was kind of that's this is kind of like a lot of information how it started, and then I gave you like a little bit of where I am now. So, but yeah, brother, definitely my younger brother. I would say is like the first person that like inspired me to start. So
does he still dance?
kinda, gets on back and forth now. He does. He be posting stuff, but he's got more into sports. He got more into like basketball. He's a real into sports, heavy sports fan. So sometimes we kick it, and then like we'll dance and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that.
So that's a great transition to my next question. Who who are all the dancers that inspire you, or who inspires you now?
Oh man, I mean, it's changed over the years. For a long time, when I first started dancing, it was Salah. I just loved how he was able to engage with the audience, how he was able to, even in battles, just be able to control the crowd and so different. He was so different from everyone then, you know? And then I started getting really into like Pac-Man. Pac-Man with his waves. Like that was the thing. This like I would practice it so much because I would see him do that that little thing. So I would just keep going arm and arm and arm and arm. And then eventually like I really like Robert Moraine stuff. And then it just kept going. And I would say recently, I would say I really were inspired by Storyboard. Storyboard P. It's interesting because when I first saw him, I didn't understand it, but I feel like I wasn't ready. Like when I was first starting to dance, I was like, "What is this? Like I don't get it, whatever." But like recently, I'm able to appreciate it more because I kind of understand more of what it's going on and stuff like that. And now, as of right now, what inspires me is things outside of dance. So, like these comedy acts where people, like, you ever see these comedy acts where the guy will like his hand will grab their shirt and be he like put it down. It's like it's like these humorous performances that it's crazy. It's like they're combining prop manipulation with miming, with humor. It's crazy, you know. So that's something I've been watching recently. Like the most recent thing are like these comedians, these comical acts. I don't know what they're called exactly, but that's what it is that I've been watching recently.
That's awesome. Um, huh. I would have never thought to like think about going outside of dance as inspiration. I know that you've been going to like what was that called? Flow art, where you like the hula hoop.
The floors, like the glovers and the hula hoopers and the poi and yeah, all of that, which is manipulating props. Yeah, that's pretty fun too. I got into that because I was like, why not? I think the first thing I did was like a balloon, and then I started really liking the balloons, and I started doing that a lot. Um, but yeah, that's another world too, you know. So.
Yeah. Speaking of balloons, that balloon dance you did when you were in the makeup as Pennywise, yo, that was
Uh,
amazing, man.
oh, it's the one with Madeline.
What was that?
The one with Madeline, or the one with the battle, or there's like three. I
Oh no,
did.
no, no! It was like a video where you were like dancing with the balloon and like
Oh, I think like
yeah, and you were
uh, it
like
was
bending backwards, like you. It looked like you were making the balloon levitate, And I thought,
yeah, yeah. That was really fun. That actually was an accident. Um, somebody was playing. Somebody was like, "Oh look, this balloon. It didn't have enough air in it. It was like kind of empty. So when you fill a balloon up that is not completely full, it kind of just floats. So you're able to just like add a little like air and it'll keep going. So I was like I gotta play with it. So yeah.
dude, that was so unreal. I was like, how does he do that?
It was good. I loved it. Like I really like that one. And I feel like it's funny. Most of the stuff I end up doing that's like I wasn't planning it comes out really like dope in my opinion. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
What are some of your favorite styles right now?
Oh, styles of dance? Honestly, if I had to pick a style of dance that I've been really looking into, I really like, it's like this contemporary modern styles. Like they're the way that their legs are and the way that they just travel across, and there's this freedom. Like it wasn't until honestly when I auditioned for Sleep You Could Dance the last season, and I was able to meet like these really talented modern dancers and contemporary dancers, and it kind of opened up my eyes to like what dance is. Like it's so much more than what street dance is. You know what I'm saying? Like like the way that they look at dance and their approach to dance is so. there's similarities, but it's also different. And I've learned to appreciate it, and it's helped me expand my mind because it's like there is no limit to what dance can be. Like you can literally just be walking across a stage, looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down, and it's a performance. It's they'll if that's a dance, that's in shows. You know, people will be with a prop and just be like laying, just slowly going to the floor, and without music, you know, and it's like wow, there is no limit. Like you can literally do whatever you want. So back to your question, really been inspired by like modern, contemporary, and certain dances that there isn't like a label. Like I don't want to call it experimental, but it's like they're just different. Like they will be like crawling on the floor with just their one shoulder, you know, and it just kind of just pushes with your mind on what you can do with your body. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because I've seen shows like that, and I'm like, I'm thinking, you know, in terms of street dance, um, we don't really dance without music, you know, and contemporary dance, they do that all the time. I can't even imagine how that would go down, you know.
Right. It's just it's so interesting. It's just different, you know. And I love to take inspiration from everything. So if I see it and it makes me go like, huh, then I'm like, okay, like let me try to take that thing that made me go, huh, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. What would you do? What do you think the street world needs right now to evolve and improve?
I think it needs more people that are creating more avenues for dancers. Like for instance, like what you're doing with your website, what you're doing with the clothes design. Find how can I say? I just wish there was more options available for dancers to make income, more ways that dancers can support the community. You know, like there is no, and that's kind of where I'm going at is there is no place for dancers to get like mental health resources. You know, what I want, what I think, what I would like to see is for people to take things outside of dance, like a person that's into finances or like looking for apartments, or a person that's into I don't know, working with children, and taking that world and putting it to the dance world, you know? Like to me, I see a lot of battles, performances, workshops, what else? Ciphers. There's some meetings together, but why don't we have more stuff? Why don't we have classes that'll teach dancers how to take care of your body, your nutrition? You know, what about for dancers that don't understand how where to live? You know, like where am I gonna live? Like why don't we have dancers that are involved in that can bring other dancers into like oh like I know these apartments, I know this place, like you know, so I really think the dance community needs just more options than just what there currently is, you know.
Yeah,
So,
that's yeah, you're right. Like I'm sure if dancing is the only thing that you do, you know, like how do you know about finding an education outside of dance? You know, if one day you break your leg and you can't dance anymore, and
right, you
yeah,
know, there's like there's just I want there to be more options for dancers. Like not just I'm going to open a studio up and teach classes and perform, and that's like I just want there to be more, you know.
yeah.
So.
I talked to a dancer the other day, and she mentioned that, and this is like a professional dancer, not
Mm.
anybody. You know, she supports the street dance, but she's not in it. But she mentioned, you know, dancers. How do we get healthcare for dancers? How do dancers get a 401k? You know.
Yeah. All that stuff, you know, and it's like the thing on my mind right as we're speaking is how there's so many talented dancers, but they never they either it just over time it just goes away. Like, you know, they get older and then they disappear. Or they don't know how to make money off of it. Like they don't know how to make an income from their art, you know? And it sucks. It really sucks because I feel like dance is at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to art, you know? Dancers get paid the least from like everything, from actress, singers, musicians, like you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure actors, singers, musicians have a lot more support and a lot more options and resources, you know? So why don't we take some of those resources and start creating stuff for dancers, you know? Clothes for dancers, place for dancers to live. I know there are a couple out here in LA, a couple homes that they rent out for dancers, but let's make more stuff, you know? Let's create a bigger community, like a really bigger community. So
How dope would it be to have like just a whole neighborhood where everybody in that neighborhood are dancers? You know?
that'd be so dope. Or a creative spot where teachers can come and learn like how to do like I don't want to say resume, but that would be helpful too because I think some dancers don't know how to even make a professional portfolio, you know, or just like a class that'll teach them these are the steps that you can do. There are so many different avenues, you know. Come to the class, you pay whatever, and you leave with knowledge that can push to wherever you're trying to get to. Instead of I need to just find the, you know, I'm gonna go to this studio and then I'm gonna take a class here. Like I just want it to be something more, you know?
Dang, yeah. Um, so with that being said, what are your goals? As a dancer or as somebody that wants to bring more to the dance world, how can how do you, what do you think we can do to accomplish that? And just what are some of your goals as a person, individual?
Yeah. So, so personally, for me, so this is, let me, this, I guess I'm gonna just be real, you know? Um, I went to school for psychology. I didn't know what I wanted to do. You know, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I got to get an education. So I went to school for psychology. I enjoyed psychology. You know, it's interesting. It's fascinating to me. But I always loved dance. You know, and and I always would keep them separate. I would never let my dancer friends know about my education career, and I would never tell my career people about my dance. You know, I always kept them separate until probably like a year or so ago, where I was like, I love dance, you know, and I went to school for psychology, and I have experience in this. Why not put the two together? You know, why not? So my goal is to eventually have a studio, a creative space where dancers can come, they can perform, they can cipher. People want to host classes, they want to battle. Great, but here's the catch. Here's the thing that adds it. I want a place where they can come and get therapy. They can get group therapy, one-on-one therapy. They're struggling with addiction as a dancer. Great, we have a group. Not great because of that, but we have a group for addiction. Is there relationship issues? We have a group that you can come in for that. If do you want just one-on-one that nobody will know? It's every obviously in therapy everything is confidential, you know, so nobody knows who's going in, who's going out. But I want to create something, a space where I could provide mental health resources for dancers. You know, are you with anxiety? Okay, we'll have 12 sessions. Try it out. We have different therapists. You can pick a therapist, you know, that you want. And the thing is, because the fact that I am involved in the dance community is different than a dancer just going to a therapist that has no idea what dance is about to them, you know? So that's what I want to create, a creative space where everyone can go to. Like, doesn't matter what style. You're a popper, you're a flexor, you're a modern dancer, you're a ballet dancer. You can come here. We'll have nights where like a socialized Friday night where people can come, they can socialize with different groups of communities, you know? So that's what I want to create. I want to create a space to help dancers with their mental health, you know? That's like the first thing. And then obviously, as time continues, bringing in other people, actors, other artists, you know. But that's what I want to create. And back to my other previous comment about what can we do for the dance community, I know for a fact there are other people out there that are also going to school and may have other side educations and interests. I would really, I would really, how can I say it? I would like them to take the two worlds and put it together and see what they could come up with, you know? See what we can give to the dance community by what they're doing with their career or their education, you know? So,
I can relate to that a lot because I went to school for art. My degree is technically media arts and animation, so I went to school to make cartoons. Um, but I also learned like the illustration and graphic design side of it. And it wasn't until recently, with the Corduroy Designs, was when I meshed the two together, and the response of that has just been nuts. It's been bananas, like dream come true. And so I definitely think that you know, bringing in your psychology side and your dance side together it's a wonderful thing. And I think we definitely should encourage other dancers to mesh the two worlds together.
exactly. It's just gonna make it bigger, you know. Imagine you have 50 dancers, because I'm sure there's 50 dancers out there in the USA, 50 dancers that are have went to college or have some kind of training in something, you know. What if they merged the two and began pushing it into the dance community? There would be so many more options. You know what I'm saying? So many resources. Oh, you're a dancer. I know a dancer that also specializes in physical therapy. So they maybe their clients, maybe they focus with dancers, you know? Oh, I know a dancer that is interested in interior design. Oh, maybe they make some materials for, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. I think everyone should just see what that other, the flip of the coin, because I personally believe that there's always another side. Like I know we all love dance, but what else is there on that other side that you do on your day? Even if it's video games, how can you take your love, your passion for video games, and help the dance community? Maybe you can, if you're really involved in video games and you're winning contests and you go to these big E3 events, maybe you could create an event for all the dancers to come to and they could chill and play video games. You know what I'm saying? Just create more options for dancers. So
That's amazing, man. Man, I'm excited for people to hear that because I'm pretty sure there are people out there that didn't even think to combine the two together.
well, this is the thing. This is the thing, and you, whoever's watching this right now, if there is another passion or something else, again, what I've just said that you are interested in, and you love dance, that thought that you're having that's saying, I don't know if I could put it together, you can put it together. You got to do it though. Because here's the thing, if you don't do it, somebody else down the line is going to do it. And you're going to be like, darn, I should have did it. You know what I'm saying? Like I know there's people out there that want to create a studio and they want to have dancers for therapy and everything. So I'm trying to get this done. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta do it. You can do it. You gotta believe. You just gotta do it. Like here's a story. When I started, I was like, you know what? How can I get dancers? How can I bring dancers together? I wanted this goal. So I started having sessions at my house, and I would bring flow artists. I have some flexors, some poppers come, and they all come together, and they all have a great time. And then what I would do is I would tell them, okay, this is what you're gonna do. In my living room, I have a light that I could change the colors and everything. I tell them, I want you to pick a color that really means a lot to you. It could be red, blue, whatever color. And I want you to think of a song that really is touching, that really speaks to you. And I want you to perform it. And everyone is going to put 100% of their attention, and you are going to be in your world. I basically tell them, show us your world. And just by doing that is really therapeutic, you know, for a person to be able to share themselves completely through their movement, you know. And and we'll talk about it. We'll say, so what was that story? What did that mean to you? What came up when you were doing that performance, you know? So slowly adding the therapeutic element into the dance.
Oh, dang. That's awesome. Man. Um, wow. So another part of this interview that I hope that we can accomplish is giving back to the community. Um, we're doing great with like thinking what we can do more for the community. Um, so what do you think are some qualities in a high level dancer that you think newer dancers should take note of?
So some high level qualities that some qualities that high level dancers have that new dancers can learn from. You're saying be patient. Patient. If you can, it's like mixed martial arts. You just be patient, learning the technique and the foundation and how you want it to come out. I think the problem is a lot of us rush. We want it so bad that we're skipping a lot of things instead of having one really clean approach or movement, we take 1,000 and they're all sloppy. So I would say patience is one of the things that high level dancers have. The other thing is that they are open. They're open to different styles. They're open to seeing different approaches. They're open to learning as well. Because if you're closed and you think you're the best dancer in the world and your style's whatever, then you have already cut yourself. You're literally cutting your creativity if you close your mind off and say, oh, there's nothing else. And the other thing I think for a high level dancer is to socialize with other high level dancers and session with other high level dancers. You gotta think of this. You know what I tell people? Think of it outside of dance. Let's say you're a therapist, right? So you want to be a really good therapist, right? Okay, well, what's that gonna take? Well, that's gonna take experience. So how you get experience? Well, I'm gonna have to see a bunch of clients, right? So what does that mean? I'm going as a dancer. That translates to I need to go to different battles. It depends what you want to do. You want to battle? Go to battles. Get comfortable with battles. You want to perform? Find every opportunity that you could perform. So, okay, so you're getting the experience. What else does a therapist have? Usually, high-level therapists have a supervisor or someone that's mentoring them. Find someone that can mentor you, someone that can take you under their wing and share the knowledge. That okay, great. I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that. And again, it goes back to being okay that you're making mistakes. It's gonna happen. So that goes back to being patient. Take your time. Learn it. You don't have to learn 1,000 things in one day. You want to be a crazy waver, and you never started waving. You're not gonna be a crazy waver in a week. Like unless you've invented some kind of technology that makes you learn it like that. You know.
Yeah,
So I guess patience. Take your time. That's what I would say.
those are some really good qualities. Um, what do you want to tell the world? This is
Oh man, what I want to tell the
yeah,
world?
this is whatever you want to say, whatever you want to talk about.
Man, what I want to tell the world? Just do everything in love, honestly. If before you make a decision or an action, and if you're doing it with positive intention that is helping others, it's not just selfish. It's because just being empathetic and caring and doing things out of love. A lot of a lot of good things come from that. Like you could take that and apply it to dance, and you could take that and apply it to just being working at a hospital or being a veterinarian or a teacher. Doing things out of love really makes a shift in your life and opens a lot of opportunities. Like, I mean, personally for me, I would say I wasn't so open 2 years ago. I was more closed off. I wasn't so caring or cared. Like I didn't want to open myself up, my heart up to people and show compassion as much. But once I did, once I started really opening up and being real and hey, like nice to meet you, like you're dope, give you props. Do you want to like session sometime? Being just authentic and positive, it started opening up more and more and more and more doors, you know? So do everything in love. Do everything with love. That's what I would tell the world.
That's that's beautiful, man. Hey, we're gonna end the video right here. Thank you so much for being willing to, talk to me and sharing your thoughts. You're gonna be getting one of these shirts here in the mail.
I can't wait. I can't wait to Seth though. I really
Yeah.
am.
Shout out to T Bugs from Chicago. That man is a true OG, man. Like he's taught so many dope dancers.